Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. I am excited about our topic for this afternoon. It might be a new topic for you. It might be something that you have not heard, but we're going to talk about it because I believe that it's so needed. I believe that many people are going through this state of what we call languishing. Can you say that with me? Languishing. Um, we'll wait for everybody to come in as we and then let's just keep the conversation going while we unpack this topic about languishing here at Coffee Break. So if you are here and you feel that you need to hear it, get your coffee. I have hot coffee in this afternoon to help me and perk me up until my two classes after this live stream. And I'm uh, also, I would like you to get your coffee and then just take your seat and tell me about what you know about languishing. I have a few friends who actually messaged me that they are really looking forward to this languishing topic because you just don't know, pero baka nandito na tayo sa state of languishing because of the prolonged pandemic and the lockdown we are encountering, especially if you're in the Philippines. So get your coffee, let's sit down together, and then let's reflect about life and what's really happening to us. So, friends, for those of you who are here, please send this episode to your family and friends who might be wanting to hear about this topic. And if you are here already, let me start the ball rolling by asking you this important question: how are you right now? When people ask you, and maybe when I ask you, how are you today? What's your usual answer? Can you put that in the chat? I would like you to really put that in the chat to actually probe deeper and to ask yourself, kumusta nga ba talaga ako? Masarap ang kape kahit na mainit kasi ang topic natin ay I love the topic. I love our topic for today. Okay, can I see? Hello, Joyce. Good. Wow, talaga, Mama Shimiya. Good. Okay lang. Ayan. The cup that I put here in the topic is that we all have that feeling of blah. Uh, we all have that feeling of blah. We all have that feeling ng okay lang. Look at my face. Okay lang. So when yan, Joyce, you said okay lang. Can we be more definite? Can we be more specific? Okay lang. So, how have you been okay lang? Okay lang kahit na nahihirapan? Okay lang talaga? Okay lang kahit na madaming pinagdadaanan? Okay lang? So, I would like us to really look into languishing. It came from an article this year. An article. I think it was that was last year. An article came out of New York Times describing that many people in this pandemic are actually in the state of languishing. And what's languishing? It's the sense of meh, blah, malaise, apathy. Pero sa Tagalog, ano yung mga equivalent words? So friends, let's dissect it. So in English, diba, meh, blah, malaise, and apathy. So there's just nothing, just okay. So sa Tagalog, if we're going to unpack it in Tagalog, can you put here, ano yung mga equivalent ng possible feeling of blah, blah, B-L-A-H, and what's that possible feeling of languishing for us? So what's our usual answer to that feeling of languishing? What's the equivalent? Joyce, you're saying, super true, basic answer. How are you? And basic answer, ayaw mag-elaborate. Okay, so what's our basic answer? What's the usual answer that we put? Hindi ba we answer, okay lang, keri lang, chill lang, good vibes lang. So it's just lang. Yan, keri lang. Di ba? Moms, di ba yan, keri lang. Yan yung madalas na nagiging sagot. Keri mo naman talaga, but yan, sakto lang. Ano pa? Ano pa ang mga sagot natin? Sakto lang, keri lang, okay lang, K lang, parang, yeah, chill lang. So, when you come to think of it, languishing, and when you look, it's a cultural thing for us. So, hindi tayo fully nagdi-disclose ng feelings, ayaw natin sagutin yung question, but in reality, we have to learn how to really answer that because that will actually check our inner state. Ayan. Yan, Angeline, eto, ganun pa rin. Meron pa nagsabi, buhay pa. Okay, friends, look at it this way. I would like you to reflect. If you are really asked, in a more deeper sense, kumusta ka ba talaga? Remove all those traditional or canned responses. Because if you would only look at it, we might be at that point of languishing already. Hindi natin napapansin dahil sagot natin, keri lang, sakto lang, buhay pa, ganun pa rin, chill lang. Baka we are already here. And what is languishing? Languishing, the manifestation of that is that we lack motivation, we have decrease in energy levels, and there's an overall feeling of meh, wala, blah. Overall feeling of okay lang. So can you make sense? You think you might be here? So languishing, as described, is actually the feeling of emptiness and stagnation. Parang, okay lang naman ako. Pero deep inside, we're not actually confronting that feeling of emptiness and stagnation. And also, there's this void inside that actually has what we call hollow, empty, or kaya nga void, may kakulangan sa loob, or there's a quiet despair inside. And come to think of it, it's not depression. Languishing, what we need to realize is that this is a very good way of how psychologists put it. Not me, but the expert who studied about languishing. Languishing, if we are to look, I have to get a ruler. If we are to look at mental health as a spectrum, isang pahaba. So if this is the pen, its mental health is a spectrum. Here, and this is languishing. One side is languishing. The other one, it's actually what we call thriving. You talagang fully maximize your potentials, making a difference in the lives of other people. So it might be that languishing, as one psychologist calls it, his name is Adam Grant. So you can look for the article in New York Times. He said that languishing is the overlooked middle child of mental health. Let me repeat that. Languishing is the overlooked middle child of mental health. Kasi actually, alam mo, come to think of it, there is a tendency for us to just look at the extremes. People who are excelling and people who are having a lot of problems. Before, when I was a guidance counselor, I have to take note of the one in the middle. The middle ones are silang marami, silang average girls, sila yung tahimik, sila yung mabait na estudyante, sila yung walang problema. Sila rin yung hindi mo tututukan because they're just okay. They're okay lang. They're just carrying on. They're just doing what their good girls are supposed to do. But come to think of it, we don't really, because they're so mabait and they're so predictable, we don't see if there's a problem already as compared to kids who are having manifestations of problems right away. May indicator. But for people who are always in that zone of carry lang or carry on or parang wag ka nang pahalata, kayanin mo na lang, we have a tendency to just hide whatever we're having, but we don't realize that we are already falling into the trap of languishing. Am I making sense, friends? So it's actually the middle child. Kung ang opposite niyan ay depression, if this is thriving and this is depression, somewhere in the middle, at the low continuum, in the low continuum towards depression, it's actually languishing. Andyan ka lang, kaya kayo sakto lang at buhay pa. Kasi, andyan lang, but you're not really maximizing your potentials. You're not necessarily thriving. You are just merely surviving. You're just hanging on. We're just hanging on and see how this pandemic will take you. Where will this take you? Will you grow from it? Wala nang question about growth. Basta mabuhay lang ako, okay na ako. But the thing is also, there's an empty void inside you. Because when we're trying to survive, we might be exerting effort. But when we're languishing, there's no effort because there's lack of motivation. So ang gagawin mo lang is kung ano yung sanay kang gawin every day. Nothing new, nothing different. It's just that this is what I just would like to do. It's not depression, it's not thriving, it's not a mental health disorder. Languishing is not a mental health disorder. Can you all put that word to can you all type that word, languish, the language of languishing. Languishing is not a mental disorder. Hindi ito mental health disorder, hindi ito sakit. Pero it could be debilitating and a risk factor to major depression. It if prolonged. If prolonged, it can be actually a possible route or a possible precursor to depression. Well, you're saying masyadong comfortable? Probably. But it can also be, there's that feeling of emptiness. Some people actually lack the motivation. And then there's stagnation. So it may be too comfortable. Some people can be very comfortable, but they're thriving. But there are people who are too comfortable to the point that they're not growing all anymore. They're stagnant or dormant. Hindi dormant. They're dormant to the point that there's emptiness within them. Joyce, I think that would not be the topic. Let's try to answer that later, okay? Bakit tayo napunta sa languishing? Why is it that this pandemic has brought about languishing? Do you have any idea, friends? Sa tingin nyo, are you in that point of languishing? Do you have that lack of motivation prolonged already? Declining energy levels, parang wala ka ng gana, and overall feeling of nothingness, apathy, malaise. So if you're there, what changed? Life in the pandemic or in lockdown, our lives are halted. Parang bigla tayong tumigil. What we're doing, the work that we've been doing, and actually we're not prepared for it. Nobody is prepared for the pandemic. Nobody has, ito, magla-lockdown ako. Hindi natin nakita that na dapat 2 linggo lang, and now, how long have we been there? And we are unable, I think this is critical, we are unable to engage in our daily activity. Imagine we individuals, we are so used to engaging in our daily activities, including me in my work. But actually, that changed. Another thing that changed, contact with loved ones. We don't contact them the same way that we do. Na anytime na gusto mong dumaan for me, for example, anytime that I want to drop by my mom, I can go there. No, it's not that. It does not operate that way. Anytime that the titas would like to see each other, that they would like to see each other, it's easy for them. So there's contact with loved ones has become different. And the in short, our psyche, our minds, and our social, so the psychosocial functioning has become disrupted. So, yan yung nangyari. And the funny thing is, that's why we are actually at the point of languishing. There is, para yan sabihin natin, we have that psychological energy. So if that is energy, something is fueling that. So ano yung mga nakaka-fuel sa atin? What could be fueling us? Diba? New experience. Recharge during weekend. There's something that we would do for the family. We would also rest. There's something we would do for the community. And that can be a way to recharge. We will have new experiences. May bago tayong kinain. May bago tayong pupuntahan. And those things and adventures have different varied ways of doing on it. Adventures of repeating old experiences, and all this new experiences, old experiences, repetitive patterns, but also rest and nothingness. We have been accustomed or unconsciously programmed all our lives na ito yung way to do things. And because of the because of the pandemic and the lockdown, we are actually asked to be different, to have things differently. Like ibang mga bagay. Can you relate with what I'm saying? So here, what is the one fueling us? Where are we finding our psychological fuel? So it might not be in new places anymore because before, I remember if I would just need to unwind, it's so easy for me to just go to a favorite coffee shop, meet up with friends, and then okay, be by myself, walk in the mall, try out some clothes in the boutique, even without buying. But there's a novel experience altogether. And then before I go home, I'm better. So now it's not how it is. And because of that, we have we have to find new ways to fuel ourselves psychologically. But the funny thing is for us adults sa atin, that's why many of us are put in a point of languishing. It's because konti lang yung low energy input, low psychological energy input, but the output is high. For if it's the psychological energy is the one if psychological fuel, that's our energy. Of you would see ourselves having that energy bank. Okay, look at that way. Kung marami tayong input, maraming dati mabilis tayong mag-input at mag-replenish because of how we do things routinarily. Now mabagal yung input or mababa yung input pero mataas yung output. Saan napupunta yung output? Saan napupunta yung energy natin? Friends, can you relate with what I'm saying? Sa tingin nyo, saan napupunta yung output? So, if we have also low energy, lalo na kung hindi tayo masipag mag-alaga ng sarili, we find it hard to, to pivot from all this pandemic hanash. So here, friends, paano yung output natin? Saan napupunta? That's why many people feel so drained, exhausted, and lacking in motivation kasi ang daming demands ng buhay sa kanila pero kukonti lang yung input. So hindi nare-replenish yung enerhiya, yung psycho-emotional energy, yung psychosocial functioning natin nagde-deteriorate. So I think that is for me in my observation, languishing, it's actually that possible decline or that possible, it's not really decline, apathy or a lethargy in our psychosocial function, psycho-emotional functioning. So, what is it that we are putting our output? Work and career demands. Sino dito yung sumobra naman yung career demands? Yung iba na wala ng trabaho. And you are asked to do maybe some other thing to pivot your business, maggawa ng ibang negosyo, ng pangkabuhayan. Another one is yung mga parents na nagtatrabaho ka na sa bahay, ikaw pa yung home chores at ikaw pa yung learning assistant ng anak mo with online distance learning. Another one is of course the health concern of many families. Many of us are caregivers to our families, either physically, directly, or remotely, because some of us get sick. Some of us needs to monitor a family member to supply their needs, even though that we are distant from them. And of course, we need to take care of our health. So all of a sudden, the output that we need to put out, the output that we need to share to give, has become so much for us to handle. Am I making sense, friends? So that's why languishing actually transpired in us. It transpired in us, and I would like you to realize, friends, do you think that you are in a state of languishing? You think you are connecting with me? Somebody saying, Joyce said, yes, Doc, exactly what I needed to understand too now. Thank you, Thank you, Joyce. And then somebody said, Grace, I am watching you from Dubai and your content connect in a much deeper sense that our distance doesn't matter, making your topic so relevant in our life here away from homeland. Thank you. That's the mission of Coffee Break. No matter and in here in Coffee Break, I would be very glad to share that it's just not us for us. but it's for Filipinos worldwide. We have viewers and we have friends who are joining us from Canada, from US, from the UK. Kanina may kachat ako early this morning. She was saying that she's so excited that she will be able to listen to this topic all the way from in the East Coast in the US. So, friends, yes, that's what Coffee Break is for. I need to connect with our kababayans because, being virtual, that's the blessing now. So, friends, I would like you to check. Sa tingin nyo, first question that I would like you to reflect. You think you are in languishing? Second, try to reflect on your life in the past 1.5 years. Simulan natin nung nagsimula yung pandemic. Are you replenishing with all the demands that you need to give to people, to loved ones, to ministry, to your work, to your boss? Do you think that all the output that you gave, did you try to refill yourselves? Did you have a way to gain back the input? In short, nakakapag-recharge ba? Yun yung magandang malaman. Because para yan sa charger ng phone dapat equivalent. Kung anong sinarge mo, yun din yung magagamit mo. And what happens is that, really, if it's so drained already and it's just not gonna work, or it's possible, this is the possibility, and this is how I'm looking at languishing now. We spend our energy too much that we don't find a way to recharge so that nandun na lang tayo. Di ba minsan meron battery saving mode yung telepono? And then hindi mo magagamit yung social networking, mababa yung yung light, and then there are some features that you cannot do. And I believe that languishing is that. We are just operating on the bare minimum because we just might find it difficult even to charge ourselves, to look for the charger. Charger na nga lang ipapahinga mo na lang. Minsan may mga ganyan ako naririnig. Pero sis, hindi ako makapagpahinga, wala akong chance. Pwes, gawin mo. Drop everything. Because sometimes if you don't drop everything to rest, life gives you, knock on wood, but life gives you opportunity to rest and ask you to really rest. And that is in the form of different sickness, mental health sickness or physical sickness. So, and imagine, would you like to use your phone? Ako, I don't like that. I don't like using my phone to the minimum level. Why? If my phone is just in the battery saving mode, yes, I am using it, but I am not using the maximum capacity and I'm not maximizing the ability of my mobile phone. Parang tayong tao, okay, naka-minimum level tayo. Ayaw natin gumalaw. Eto lang tayo. We are languishing. We fail to use our innate talents and ability and maximize ourselves the way that our God wants us. And hindi natin nagagamit yung mga talentong binigay ni Lord kasi how can we do that? We keep saying na, Lord, wala na akong energy. Sa pamilya ko pa nga lang ubus na ako Gusto mo pang tumulong ako sa iba. So hindi niya tayo magamit because we don't find a way to be able to reboot ourselves and to have a new way to gain input to refill our energy reserves. Am I making sense? Am I making sense, friends? Can you relate with what I'm saying? As I said earlier, if you think you are in the state of languishing, how are you recharging yourselves? How are you refilling your energy bank? How are you putting in input? Are you here? So somebody here said, Belle, last year at the beginning of pandemic, I got scared, anxious. I a lot of energy going on, so I'm recharging through praying. That's a lot of time. I started to watch Coffee Break. Thank you. Listening to Bosconian songs and doing planking. Wow, that's great. So here, nasa na ba ako? And oh wow, you are. It's so honest for you to say that. What about you, Sister Jessica? Sister Jessica, how are you? I hope that you're doing well. Are you languishing? You think you are? And I would like to tell you, first, those of you who think you are, and you don't want to admit it, it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge your state. I would like you to tell yourself, I am okay. It's okay, but it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to admit that you are languishing so that you can pick up. You can pick up, you can do what you need to do. Am I making sense? So, mas magandang malaman natin na, oh my God, I'm in the state of languishing. This is what's been happening for me for quite a while. As I said earlier, languishing is that psychological state between depression and flourishing. Flourishing is really flowing through. When you flourish, kumbaga, sa bulaklak, may magbubunga later on. Pero if not, the languishing, it's that joyless, aimless emptiness and stagnation. You are stagnating, or some people call it dormancy. Parang walang bunga, walang kahihinatnan ba, walang nangyayari to make a difference. So I hope that you are checking yourself here. I would like you to also reflect that that loss is normal. The loss that we have, the time that the patterns, the disruption in our routines, the time, the time that we spend on things, the activities we have, and then the passage of time, everything that we lost, that's normal. And what happens is that we need to take hold of life again. For me, what is important is that we need to learn to take hold of life again. I would like for you to reflect on two things. What are the things that you're doing to be able to retool yourselves? Mga bagay na hindi mo ginagawa pre-pandemic that is recharging to you, pero that's helping you now. And ano yung mga bagay na kailangan mo ng tigilan? Kailangan mo ng tigilan kasi hindi na nakakatulong. Or that thing that you just might be pinning yourself down and then waiting for the lockdown to be over, na mag-alert level 1 na lang lahat, na mavaksina na ang buong sambayan ng Pilipino. But friends, we cannot wait for the perfect condition because we're still alive. Life goes on. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na sakana. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin if it's already perfect, and then that's what I'm going to do. So you have to look for ways to be able to support yourself. I'm going to discuss that on but one thing that I would like you to reflect about is that I would like you to see if one, you are in the state of languishing, and the second, what makes you flow. Yan naman yung second phase. Anong nakakapagpabuhay sa'yo? If you are probably in the state of languishing, I would like you to think, and that's something that we can talk about on Thursday. What makes you feel alive? What gives you joy? Ngayon, sis, hindi ko mahanap kung ano nakakapagpasaya sa akin. Kahit na maliit na bagay. Ako, the other day, a friend of a friend sent me some goodies that are all healthy. They have this really good ice cream, coconut ice cream called, their brand is One Healthy Shop. And I really appreciate it because I would like to move on from some kind of food right now. And I would like, for me, parang sabi ko, wow, this is really kilig in a bayong. So, they sent me raw honey, and then unpolished rice, and then those ice cream that's coconut-based ice cream. So, sabi ko, wow, this is something that gives me joy. Napakaliit na bagay, but really appreciated, and it gives me joy. So, friends, kayo, meron tayong mahahanap na maliliit na bagay na nakakapagpasaya sa akin. Tinan mo, trashy kapag nag-video call ng mga anak ko, taking daily walks ako in the morning, it's joy for me also to do my yoga class. And also this morning, it's my joy to fix some of the things that I'm using. I'm making cold processed soaps, and I'm going to put them out on sale this Christmas. And it's a joy for me to fix them, to arrange them earlier. And yun yung sinasabi ko, we might be in that point of languishing, but we cannot wait for the perfect conditions that life would be kind to us. Because in reality, life can be very mean and life can be very imperfect. So we have to look for ways to be able to support us. So that's what I'm going to talk about. How can we actually reboot ourselves from that languishing? I hope that you have learned also what languishing is. So friends, if you are to rate yourself in the spectrum, do you think you are on the spectrum of languishing, or you think you are in the or you think you are languishing, or rate yourself 1 to 5. 5 yung talagang nandun ka sa bottom ng sa pinakamat-peak ng languishing, you're 5, and then so you think you might have symptoms that you are languishing, rate yourself 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. So there, please put that in the comment section. And then I would like for you friends, because I've been talking to you about what's happening, and ano ba ito sinasabi ni Doc Itchel, and then bakit siya merong hobby and everything. I would like for you to join me on Friday already. Yes, this is going to be on Friday. I'm inviting everyone here to come with us to the Feast Conference 2021. It's going to be online, of course. It's November 19 to 21. Friends, if you think you are at the state of languishing and you feel that you need extra dose of blessing, you need to be blessed, you need to be better, you need to hear the voice of God speaking loudly, speaking softly, and or maybe whispering to you, I would like you to join me and the rest of the gang, more than 40 speakers, especially led no other than Brother Bo Sanchez, and one of the plenary speakers is my favorite priest, Father Joel Hasson. It's going to be, of course, online. If you are interested to join us, please check out tickets. For I think the regular ticket is $999. It's you have access for the conference for 3 days, and you can actually replay all the master classes that we have. And then, of course, there's a premium ticket because you have 60 days to access all the talks, to learn and get out of that languishing mode. So, friends, I hope that you can join us. It's the Feast Conference. Get tickets at www.feastconference. And of course, if you are blessed and you think you're languishing, but you need a coffee break to uplift you, kailangan mo ng kape at kailangan mo ng mga chika with people like me. This is Dr. Michele Alignay, and I would like to invite you to support Coffee Break by sending Facebook stars here at the comment section. Thank you, Grace, for sending Facebook stars. Or you can also send me a direct message if you would like to support Coffee Break by sending through GCash. So, magandang hapon sa lahat. I hope that this is a good start to I hope that this is a good start and a good way for you to uproot yourselves from languishing. But before I end, somebody asked, Doc, meron din case na career lang ang naglalanguish or dormant sa buhay while the rest like family, community ay flourishing? No, it might be a case of burnout because languishing, it's consistent to all areas of life. Kung career lang, it might be occupational burnout. And it's good that you're thinking if you're in languishing. So let's talk about it somewhere on Thursday. Join me at Coffee Break with Dr. Michele, and I hope you join me also at the Feast Conference on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. God bless everyone. Get out of languishing.